Welcome, everybody, to Live from the 575 Esports podcast, brought to you by State Esports. We're on episode 10. Please welcome these lovely gentlemen that we have here today. As you guys can see from the title, we are having our Counter-Strike team, or at least two members of our Counter-Strike team, and the three-timer himself,
Repeat. Let's
Mr.
go.
President Leon, being on 3 episodes. He's just my favorite, honestly. But we have two very special players to State Esports. We have Pigeonseatpie. Is that how you say it?
Pigeonseatpie said.
Pigeons eat pie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's way better than whatever I said. And Izzy the God, how are you guys doing today?
Doing all right.
We're
This is
doing
definitely
good.
not our second time recording this intro, so excuse us if our answers are amazing today. But I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys. Counter-Strike. Obviously, you guys played Counter-Strike for us this spring semester through Face It Rec League. How was that? Have you guys ever played on a collegiate team, let alone esports team? We'll start with you, bitch.
Sure. Well, honestly, it was quite literally a dream come true. I've never played CSGO or any other esport competitively or at a high level, but I've been following the CSGO Pro League, or I guess pro scene in general, for at least 5 or 6 years, and I've always wanted to play on a team, and it was so much fun. It was so fun, and it was a dream come true, and excited to keep it rolling forward.
I like that. What about you, Izzy? Have you ever played on a team?
Actually, no. This is my first. That was my first ever season on an esports team, and it was pretty fun. I got to learn a lot of tactics, on some parts of the game that I didn't even know about, and we had so much fun.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mr. President? Do you play Counter-Strike? Have you ever played Counter-Strike?
Yes, I have previously played Counter-Strike. I've had enough hours in the game.
Once?
Once for some people would say rookie numbers, but like 1,000 to 1,200 hours. That's about it.
Yeah, it's
I only
rookie
peaked
numbers.
like MGE. That's about it. Like I existed, but that was when rank mattered. That was when like Face It ESEA was still out. But no, now it's just Valorant for me.
Just Valorant? L. Well,
Okay.
maybe a win for you, but we'll talk about that W later. I played Counter-Strike. It was the first ever PC game that I ever played on. I had a really shitter PC. I think a lot of people actually really started with Counter-Strike. Back when you had to pay for it, back when I started, I paid. It was like what? 10,
Before
15 bucks?
Prime.
It was like
Prime.
yeah, it was like $16. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was
remember
like,
that.
I think that was the first ever Steam game I've ever bought.
Yes, same
And I'm
here.
like, dude, what the
Same
like
here.
thinking about that
You gotta
now?
start off with Gary's mod, dog. You
You know
gotta
what?
start
Actually,
old source.
Yeah, that's right. I got Gary's mod and Counter-Strike, I think, combo or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
same here. Yeah, that was the first game I ever bought too. But it's gonna sound cringy, but I got it on a MacBook.
So a lot of people actually did that. A lot of people
Yeah.
started playing Counter-Strike. I remember Smexy always says he played on a MacBook. I don't know how
Yeah,
much I
remember
believe
that.
him,
I
but
remember that.
Oh, I don't believe a single
Love
word
you,
that he says anytime.
fair enough. But as you were saying, we competed. You guys had an awesome roster. At least I think so. At least the most successful roster at Counter-Strike in terms of formulation in the past couple years. Obviously, it's you two. We have Cruz and Cruiser, where I get Mobies mixed up. Sometimes I'll message Cruz asking for a Cruiser question and vice versa. U-Stick, shout out U-Stick. We wish you could have been here, but you're a lazy bitch. And he's on vacation, whatever. Who am I missing? Oh, it's Drunken God, right?
Chris.
Yep, Chris.
Drunken God.
Chris, yeah.
Chris, wherever you are. We love you, dude.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you, bro.
But how did you guys feel about playing on a roster? Did you guys know each other at all? Did you guys know any of the 5?
Actually, though, like I said, I was new to like the whole esports thing. So like, yeah, I was new teammates, and we got to know each other. We got to play more games, and yeah, started
What about you,
talking.
bitch?
It's actually a pretty cool story because Cruiser was my duo in high school.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Where'd you guys go to high school, if you don't mind me asking?
We went to Powaka Valley High School. It's up
Where's
north, in between Santa Fe and a little town called Espanola, where I'm from.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Shout out Espanola.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it was
heard
this
about
cool
that
though. Yeah, we
Heard about that place.
Oh yeah, you probably heard a lot of stuff about that
I think
place.
they showed in Breaking Bad a couple times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. So you and Cruz or Cruiser?
Cruiser.
Cruisers.
Yeah.
Did you guys play a lot during high school or like just in general?
We played a ton during high school. Every single day after school, we'd play, and we'd queue with 3 of our other friends. So that's like another really cool thing too, because we always wanted to be on a team. and we ended up going to the same college, and we were like, you know what?
Gotta
It's
figure it
time.
out.
It's
We gotta
time.
do it. We gotta
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
What about you, Leon? Did you ever try to play Counter-Strike competitively?
Oh hell no, I did not. The farthest I got was playing Face It, being doo-doo butt at it. Just because when I started playing Face It, I was like Silver 4,
Yep.
maybe Silver Elite,
Yep.
and it was like you'd get into games and I'd have friends who were like, "Oh, they're LEM, I'm queuing with them," and holy shit, you would just get destroyed. I called myself the meat shield because I would just peek before them, eat all the bullets, and then let them refrag me. That was all that I felt I was good for at the time. But you know, things change.
Things change.
Yeah.
Skills develop. It's all good. It's all
Yep, you
good.
transition to better games.
Transition to better games, quote unquote, better games. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I know you guys obviously play Counter-Strike. Do you follow the Counter-Strike? I know you mentioned earlier you do follow Counter-Strike competitively a lot. I have some questions regarding that. What about you, Izzy? Do you
Yeah.
follow like majors, stuff like that?
Oh,
I am.
Especially every year I always watch the tournament with like, you know, a couple of friends on the living room, and you know, it was pretty cool to see pros go at it and try to develop the same things they would do as well.
Mhm.
And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I like to watch a lot of esports. Way too many, in my opinion. So
He
like,
watches Dota. He actually watches
I'll
Dota.
watch
No.
Dota. I'll watch the Invitational like when it comes around. That's like the Invitational, but for Dota. It's like the biggest fucking tournament ever. But I watch a lot of Counter-Strike. The only thing that I hate about Counter-Strike competitive is that there's so many fucking tournaments. There's so many
Yes.
leagues. There's so many like regions, and it's like, why am I gonna watch IM Cologne if it doesn't matter because the major's next week?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or why would I watch the major if it's supposedly the last Counter-Strike major, but IM Cologne's this weekend?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't really make sense to me. But speaking of the last major, did you guys watch that?
I did.
Vitality? I think that
Yeah.
was like the one major where I actually watched the entire group stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, start to finish, watching Gamers Legion take up
Dude.
Vitality to end. I thought it was kind of scripted. It was in France, Paris,
Yeah.
Vitality, French team.
Mhm.
It was destined to happen. Zywoo finally getting his chip. What do you guys think of the major? The last Counter-Strike Go major.
I thought that it was really cool. I think that in terms of the prophecy, right?
Mhm.
People talk about Zywoo as the chosen one, which is because he was born on the day Counter-Strike came out.
That's true. I
And
forgot about that.
And I
You're
think
right.
it's pretty fitting that he took the final. He was born on the day Counter-Strike came out, and he took the final CS:GO major.
Damn, that's gotta come full circle, bro.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
You gotta feel like a fucking superhero when you do that. shit.
Exactly,
gotta feel
dude.
like the
What about you? Izzy? Did you watch it? I'm sure
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah, I watched it. It was really nice. Like, you know, I was going, honestly, I didn't know who to go for. I just liked
Mhm.
watching it. But
Yeah.
same thing what he was saying. I really liked how he finally won the chip, and last one.
I think it's pretty
going
cool.
on forward to CS2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leon, tell me why Valorant will never get to that point in terms of esports popularity where they can fill an entire soccer arena
An entire soccer arena.
of fans for a video game. Tell me why Valorant won't get there.
I mean, start off with it's just Riot. I mean, you have a lot of different things, but
We love your Riot.
I just
games.
I will say this is that Counter-Strike has been around way longer than Riot or even League of Legends at this point. and
yeah, I guess you're right.
Because I mean, you start off way back in the day, you know, CS, like
That's true.
Outbreak, stuff like that, 1.6. Then you finally get into Source and things along those lines. It has a fan base that's built up. And the thing with Valorant is, at least, it's kind of the same way Siege went, is just a competitive shooter. And that was what it was made to be. And a lot of more casual people won't really be able to get into it just because of that. Counter-Strike has something that Valorant probably will never have, which is custom servers, where you have like the community browser and stuff like that. And genuinely, that's what fosters, I think, a lot more of the community than anybody else realizes. On top of that, the gambling side of CSGO, all the skins and things like that.
Does bring
That's
up
something
negative
that-
connotation,
Yeah,
you'd
that
say?
that's something that Valorant won't ever have. I mean, you spend
True.
$100, that $100 is never leaving your account. You spend $100 in CSGO, you could possibly trade up, or you could lose it.
That is true. Yeah, I didn't realize that the CS:GO market was like still super kicking. I mean, I obviously knew there was like super highly inflated skins and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
dude,
once
they've-
Counter-Strike 2 was announced,
Skyrocketed.
everything
Skyrocketed.
skyrocketed.
I have like an emerald
Yeah.
pinstripe in my inventory. It's $3 when I got it. It's like $15 now. I was like, what the
I
hell?
know.
Yeah.
What's
Or an
his name?
Op Cortacera, dude. That thing is like field tested. It's still $20.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Counter-Strike 2. Have you guys played it yet? Any of you guys get in the beta?
I got in the beta.
He got in the beta?
I got in the beta.
Talk to me about it, bro.
It was really nice. Especially inspecting weapons. The glare was phenomenal. It's just, I just really love the detail, especially the new game mechanics they added, you know, with frags and smokes, and it was really nice. And I really can't wait to start training on that game.
Did it catch you off guard to, like, get shot with smoke? I feel like that's going to happen way more often.
It's gonna happen a lot more often, but you know, there'll be times to where you just have to
You just have to deal with it.
You just have to
Gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I really think what Counter-Strike 2 and, like, this revitalization of the game is doing is going to bring a lot of old players back.
Yeah.
You know, people that maybe stepped away from the game or don't play it as much. Everything from content creators to, like, pro players who are going to be probably content creators. People like Pasha and, you know, anybody from the old VP days, essentially. Pasha's, like, my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
So I always glaze him when I can. But I think it's going to be really fun. What about you? You think it's going to finally rival... Or Valorant's going to actually have a decent rival?
I mean, Counter-Strike has always kind of been the rivalry for Valorant. That's why Valorant was created. But I don't know. I have some hope for CS 2 actually, like, being something better. In my opinion, though, I don't feel like it adds enough. It's just kind of like something they should have done a long time ago. They've had the Source 2 engine running for a long time. And they're definitely using this hype to, like, jump on top of it. You're going to have a lot more content creators returning. You'll probably see, like, the OG, like, Cloud9 roster return. I know that they've done a lot of more tournaments and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot more content creators, like, jump back and forth. But the people who already jumped ship from CS to Valorant and from Overwatch to Valorant or from anything else to Valorant are most likely going to still stay where they're at. I don't think it's going to be as big of a pull as a lot of people saw when Valorant first launched, and a lot of the people who couldn't make it in CSGO went to Val. So, like, you have
Shazam.
Shaz, Ten, Sick. I don't think Sase did, but I'm trying to remember. I have him, like, in my head, but I can't.
Who?
Old TSM player.
Wardell?
Yeah, Wardell, because Wardell swapped from CS to Val. And I don't think we're going to see as much of a pullback between them. And in all honesty, I see, like, I mean, you've seen the Battle Bit hype, how it, like, absolutely peaked, and then no new content's kind of come out, so it's slowly coming down. I feel like that's what's going to happen with CS2, and it's eventually going to settle where CSGO was at. Yeah. And it's still, like, that's still a great place. Like, 100,000, like, active players each day. Like, that's wild. I think Valorant gets, like, 65 to 80,000 per day. So that's still, like, huge numbers for CS, and it's definitely going to jump a lot. They might even break their peak that CSGO ever hit, but we'll see.
We'll see. I'm very excited to see how Counter-Strike 2 plays out competitively. Speaking of competitively, one thing I want to kind of get your guys' ideas and range on, I'll go ahead and put this over here at the end of the table. We got the current world rankings. This is before Blast Finals, ESL Cologne, and ESL Pro League. Currently, I believe it's only 10 teams that are up there. Surprising to me, Heroic overtaking Vitality. I know they won the most recent Pro League season before Finals is coming up. Vitality obviously beating out FaZe pretty much in terms of tournaments for the majority of this year. And dropping down to third. Usually it's Na'Vi or Vitality, or Na'Vi and FaZe that were, I know, top 1 and 2 last year, but ever since Na'Vi kind of forfeited all their European by going cross-region, they unfortunately dropped out of top 10, which kind of sucks for Simple, but I don't think he's going to have much of an issue. What do you guys think about this top 10? Cloud9 up there. I think they're the only Russia team. Oh, never mind. Take it back. Virtus Pro as well. Talk to me about it.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, go for it.
So, we just had the biggest roster shuffle
I heard
think ever before. And it makes these world rankings really, really interesting. And it makes sense to me that Heroic is number 1 because they're one of 2 teams that kept their core, their same roster.
That makes sense. Yeah. So they keep all their points.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so they kept their points, and even just having their stability, right? They don't have to kind of they don't have to get somebody and teach them their style.
They just have their
exactly.
3
yeah,
or 4,
they're
many
just keeping it rolling. Vitality is pretty surprising to me because, well, I guess not really. They won their major They had their tournaments, but they did end up changing.
That last player, right?
Yeah, Dupree, which is the most winning CS:GO player of all time.
Yeah, he retired.
I think they fired him. I think they benched him.
Damn.
Yeah, his own coach Izzy. They both came from Astralis, and for whatever reason,
I thought he like straight up retired.
he could have, but I think that
I think
heard,
he got
like,
benched first though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And I know a lot of people were like, "Wow," like they're calling like Zonic
like a tyrant or something.
Yeah. Like
I think
like,
Zonic is like top 5 esports coaches of all time,
for sure.
even from back in the Astralis days when they won 4. So.
Dude, that was terrifying. I've never to this day I don't think there's ever been a team like them in that, like 2018.
And then I think also FaZe's coach Robon, he retired too.
Yeah,
I think he retired, and I think he was like maybe not top 10, not top 5, maybe like top 10 Counter-Strike coaches. Which sucks because I know like him and Rain and what's the other dude's name? Kerrigan really got along.
Yeah,
they really knew what was going on. So I don't even know who's on FaZe. Did they change that much?
That's the second roster that stayed the exact same, other than Robon retiring.
And then I know G2, Monzi, Nico. I don't remember the other two.
It's Hunter.
Hunter, yeah.
Not Nexa. He left.
I think
Sorry,
they.
Jill.
I feel like every 3 months they bring a new player on.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's like I don't know who the fuck is on G2 anymore.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
And I just feel so bad, man. Oh man, the last major, Nico never got his
shit on.
Yeah, he never got his major, and the way that they left was just. It was so sad. It was so sad.
Yeah, but I'm kind of glad like it's giving a platform for people like Gamers Legion, who is literally a T2 team that makes it the fucking finals, and now they're top 10 ranked. Them and Ents, I really like Ents. I just have a soft spot for that org.
Yeah.
When they won Dallas, I think that guy won Dallas like twice in a row or 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
One of the main
Yeah.
dudes. And I was like, dude, he just owns Dallas. He's the king of Dallas Counter-Strike. So, but I'm glad teams like Apex and Gamers Legion are in there, a little bit smaller orgs.
It's crazy.
But the fact that they're able to beat out bigger teams, we don't see. Well, we do see Liquid. What other teams do we not see here that you can kind of think of?
Let's see.
I mean, I don't know how much they're in it, anymore. But not as been saying, Navi.
Oh yeah.
They're not up there because Navi was
one.
way up there. I mean, I don't know, just going through it, I see 4 names that I do not recognize, and then a couple names that I do, or the remaining 6 that I do.
Yeah.
But looking at the region changes for a lot of them, like damn.
It's insane.
NA, RIP.
Oh, dude, we're not even gonna talk about Liquid. I'm devastated. I'm crushed.
Yeah.
They're
the
not
fact
even.
that you're a Europe roster now.
Yeah.
I mean, what NA rosters do we have? Because looking at here, FaZe used to be NA, Cloud9 used to be NA, and Liquid used to be NA.
Yeah.
There's
Is
only
it an EG?
Top 5. But
There's only like
down.
one. Well, it's
That's
EG.
good.
There's 2. There's EG and Complexity.
Oh yeah.
And
Complexity.
actually, Complexity is really the only like
True
full
NA.
Yeah.
Damn.
and oh man, it's been hard to watch EG play.
They've been getting shit on or what? I think it's just a region diff. No cap.
Dude, like severely. Yeah, they, like it's just so sad, dude. They don't really have a good system to back them up. And
I think it's just those smaller orgs, man.
Automatic.
Yeah, I don't know how you drop auto, bro.
Wait, who dropped auto?
I think automatic's still there. I think.
I think Liquid had automatic, but they dropped them, and then EG picked them up.
Yeah,
and then it was just like a worse roster for him. He just wanted a spot somewhere.
You know,
Exactly.
he should just follow the rest of his old roster and just move to Valorant, dude.
Yeah.
Isn't Stewie still on Liquid?
No,
No.
Stu he's been grinding out Valorant. I think he
Oh,
actually wants to go
shit.
pro in it, but all of the old winning C9 roster is on Valorant at this point.
Yeah.
Is
Is he active on an active roster?
I don't think he's on an active roster, but
think he's a
he's
content
been
creator.
Yeah, he's been content
Okay.
creator, and he's been absolutely grinding for Radiant. And I've seen him up there quite a few times, and he's still goated.
That's
still
but
pretty
like Skadoodle's like my favorite. He's one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Yeah, I think I like Nothing more from that old C9 roster. Nothing. He's always awesome.
Yeah.
I saw his. I always revisit it. I don't know why, but he had a podcast with Joe Rogan. I think that's the coolest fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like I think he's like the only gamer besides like Ninja or like Mr. Beast,
Yeah,
and Mr. Beast's not even a real gamer.
Minecraft gamer.
Yeah, that makes it up
Oh,
there.
Minecraft's
But
the best professional game.
That is true.
He plays Overwatch too. But
That is true.
we
Okay,
don't talk
okay,
about
okay.
that.
We don't talk about that game.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
we don't
that's
talk about that. Yeah, we don't talk about
Oh wait, speaking of Overwatch, though, did you see that they have a Steam game coming
Dude,
out?
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like that.
Aren't they just dropping it on Steam?
Yeah, they're just dropping it on
Yeah.
Steam, but it's not. But here's the thing: it's not Overwatch 2. It's Overwatch Invasions. It's the actual.
It's a single player game, right?
No. It's the actual. Like from what I was looking at, it looks like it's gonna be the. Oh my God, the co-op,
co-op
modes that.
Oh, the co-op mode that they promised.
Yeah, but I don't know.
What?
If they do
Yeah.
that, that'd be hilarious. That game would get more players instantly
Of course.
than
That's
Overwatch 2.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
I
pretty
do.
bummed out when they
Announced it.
announced it and then they just left it off.
Damn.
Sucked ass.
Yeah,
Well.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It is what it is. In terms of Counter-Strike, what would you guys say is like your favorite era? Like maybe years or teams? Start with you, Izzy, if you
My
have
fa-
any.
My favorite is between 2016 and 17.
16, 17?
That I think that was the best era for CS:GO.
Why?
Skin wise, love the skins. I picked up a couple because I bought CS:GO around 2016, and that's where I, shuffled around, and there wasn't it wasn't pretty bad player base in a way, but it was just way better. I just thought it was way better.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Oh man.
I know
I'll
you got a
never-
couple that you're thinking of right now.
I'll
huh?
never, ever, ever. I'll never let go of the glory days when
The
Team
glory
Liquid
days?
won their Grand Slam.
Yes.
Oh,
I feel like that
man.
one was such a sleeper Grand Slam. Like nobody expected it to happen.
Dude.
And all the top teams like FaZe, Navi, Astralis were like all shitting the bed like continuously.
Yeah.
And it
yeah.
just let Liquid just fucking roll through everybody. I thought it was hilarious.
Yep. And
I
people,
just- Go ahead.
people say like it's not a real era. It's not a real era if you don't win a major. But
Well.
I think at the same time, dude, they won so many things in a row. The fastest Intel Grand Slam, dude, it was like 40 days or something.
Yeah,
that
that's
they
right.
won it in. Oh man, dude, and then like I'll never forget too. Like that's when Super Stidham, the YouTube
The YouTube
YouTuber,
guy.
he was making like some of the best videos he's ever made before.
Dude,
and
those
like,
meme videos are hilarious. I
that-
watch them, like how Nico plays Counter-Strike
yeah.
V1 or whatever, and it's just his stream highlights. It's
Yep.
hilarious.
and how Liquid plays Counter Strike.
Mm. That's the best one?
That's the best Super Stidham video ever.
Dude, yeah, I think Brokey was on that roster, right?
On Liquid?
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't on that roster back then?
No.
Because I know Brokey was like the only player that has 2 Grand Slams. He got one
Oh,
with
no, it's
FaZe.
Twists.
Oh, Twist, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, he was on FaZe, and then he got his with Liquid. So I think, low-key, he's the best fucking NA player of all time.
Dude, yeah. I don't
He
really
has to
think,
be.
yeah, you can argue
But I mean,
otherwise.
he plays in Europe all the time, so I assume he's just well-versed in the practice.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I guess that kind of makes sense. We're going to take a quick break here. I'm going to change out the batteries on the recording, but we will be right back after this Viewsonic ad. Real quick, say something nice about a Viewsonic monitor.
Get Viewsonic monitors, best frames.
Viewsonic monitors offering beautifully clear picture and wonderful refresh rate.
They got the RGB.
Yeah.
RGB. All right, we'll be back. Alrighty, we're back. Thank you so much to Viewsonic, our sponsor for today's episode. I want to talk about some other esports. You guys follow any other games closely at all? I know obviously Counter-Strike's #1, but do you guys follow any other games? There's a couple things going on. Call of Duty most recently had his the Champs weekend. He went to it. Make sure to like that tweet. We got VCT coming on for Valorant. The LCQ is currently going on, and Champions is right around the corner towards the beginning of August. I'm not too sure. End of August. And I know, I think that's pretty much the only big two things coming up besides Overwatch League Finals, but we all know what's going on there. And then, just the regular IM colognes. What games do you guys follow?
So I've actually really been enjoying watching like VCT, the Valorant.
VCT? Okay.
It's been a lot of fun. I think my favorite thing about esports is learning about storylines and following players and teams and seeing following long enough to see where players go and seeing what's on the line, right? It's been a lot of fun, and honestly I won't ever forget watching you need to help me out here, Leon. It was a final. It was the best final I've ever seen, maybe in any game. It was Fnatic versus not Leviathan. It's
which
major?
Yeah, which major were you?
Is that Tokyo maybe?
no, it was the one before.
No, it was
Tokyo.
before.
It was a Fnatic like reverse. No. So the final map was on Icebox. They were down
Fnatic
like,
versus Loud.
yeah, Loud.
Yeah.
It was Loud, dude.
That
That
must have
series
been-
was so sick.
That was
maybe.
that was 2 majors ago, because that was just after
Tokyo.
Loud. No. That was just after Loud
Won
won
champs.
in. They won champs, and
That was the first major of this year.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Where was
it was the
it?
one after that. It was
Denmark, right? Or something like that. It was Europe.
I don't remember actually,
All I
because
remember
Loud's.
Berlin?
I mean, it's really hard because Loud is like one of the most performing teams. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
one where like they had just come off of a win, if I remember correctly. So them losing, everybody was like, "Holy shit!"
Dude, no, it was in home. They
Was
lost
it?
at home. That's what.
Oh,
made
it
like,
was Brazil.
So
Lock
crazy.
in.
Was it during lock-in?
Yeah.
That's what made it so crazy, dude. They like.
It was lock in. That's what.
I was on home soil, and I
Yeah.
just remember too, like looking
devastating
at
you have to see.
Boaster, like they were down. He had his stupid little like orange headband on. He was leaning back in his chair, dude. He was like sweating like crazy and like all pale, and he was just like. And then they came back and they won, dude. It was so sick.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think that's a really good one. But yeah,
Yeah,
you watch
yeah.
Valorant.
yeah,
And for the
Valorant
most part?
VCT. I really enjoy watching like Apex Legends like highlights. I don't
Okay.
really like follow it closely, but dude, oh my god, watching
hard.
final circles like
It's
so fun.
It
It's
gets
so fun.
it gets so like boring at times. The only reason that I ever watch AVGL or anything is just because Watson. Like following
Watson.
Furia and their just aggro comp is the funniest thing. Like that is talk about stories and everything. Whenever Watson was brought on, I don't know if you follow any of.
A little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so his Watson, one of the best. Like I think in one season got 3 accounts up into Pred. Like he's insane. He's one of the most goated people I think that still plays mouse and keyboard for Apex.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Furia was one of the standout teams because normally it's 1 mouse and keyboard player, 2 controller, just because aim assist is broken. Furia for the last AVGL, like the last time that they made like a major showing, Watson and who was it? Watson, one other that were mouse and keyboard, and then 1 controller player, and they were aping every team
Yeah,
that they had.
yeah.
It wasn't run away, play for final circle. It was just fight. And even after like the first few games, they were making good placements, good kills, and it was just overall they were just
It was so
insane.
sick. It was
And
sick.
like Watson as a player, I mean, he's played Seer since Seer was goated, and he still plays Seer. I mean, I do too, but no, it's just great watching him play. Just
And then like the cool thing about that org too is like they kind of built it so that it was gonna go against like the meta for playing Final Circle. Like they built it with 3 players that aren't scared to fight, and it's just so cool, dude, that they built that and like they did it.
because
So cool.
Watson got MVP for that one, and then they had really good showing. I don't think they got first though. They got they podium, didn't they?
I think so. I
I can't even remember. It's been a while, but no. Just and then watching his series online because he still is a content creator. I mean,
Yeah.
he does all sorts of stupid things like going to or getting to GM with no armor or P2020 only. That's one that he did recently.
Yeah.
Mozambique only. He is just an insane player.
Yeah, he's sick.
Pretty cool. What about you, Izzy? What other games do you really follow, if you follow any?
I love to follow Call of Duty.
Call of
'cause,
Duty?
Like, okay, so don't get me wrong. And you know, my opinion aside, I realize that Call of Duty like now is not compared to what happened back then, right? Like from Ghost and then Advanced Warfare, that like those were like really good majors. I watched the final of Call of Duty Ghost. I would say when it was FaZe. It was FaZe. I remember FaZe went to finals.
Yeah, it was FaZe versus Denial.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. I watched that one, and then I also follow Rocket League because like
Nice.
I mostly I follow Rocket League because like of the hypeness of like the
Rocket League is
commentators.
very hype.
Sick.
Yeah, it's
Sick.
very hype. Yeah, and like even though I sometimes play Rocket League, but like I just feel like the commentators in my head, like just playing it.
Yeah, dude,
I also follow those. I watch some Valorant because Valorant's a pretty interesting game. Yeah, I would just say Call of Duty would be my number one.
Number one. So do you watch it a lot, like now, or just kind of like in and out when you can?
I watch it in and out because like I didn't like I said, mentioned like opinions aside, I don't think like the newer COD's like interesting. I feel like back then it was way more like intense and like teamwork in a way, but like now it's just
Who's running faster?
who's running faster,
The movement.
movement, everything. I just think that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, VCT coming along for champions. We already have the first 4 or 8 teams locked in, and right now VCT is just trying to get those last couple teams. Do you guys have an idea of who's going to win it this time around? NRG, everybody's NA Hope.
Yeah, Hopium for
Hopium
sure.
for
I mean,
Energy?
I gotta go Energy, dude. You have to.
You have to. When they choke, get fucking
Yeah,
slammed.
I mean, sure, they did.
Semis?
But so the last time whenever we were doing this with Valorant, we were all like talking about it because
Energy.
no, we were
All
saying
three
energy,
of you.
but no, all of us had the hopium for EG, and then EG showed
Oh.
up and like actually did something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't say for certain about who's gonna be doing what at this point, just because. I mean, you have teams that do nothing, or not. I wouldn't say nothing the entire season. They got as far as they did, but who kind of just turn it around when they really need to and they show up. So I don't want to like, say something and be like, oh yeah, they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
But I do feel like energy. You got to go NA. You got to have some showing there, and so.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I like Energy. I think FNS is like the greatest IGL of all time. I'm just kind of riding the coattails off of what Alex said on the Valorant podcast. But I think I really want to see last champions, or literally every champions has been so weird. Like Apex won the first one.
Yeah.
And Apex doesn't exist anymore. At least
Yeah.
they're not good anymore.
Yeah.
Loud won the second one, and all of the OG Loud roster's gone. They're still
Mhm.
good. They can still definitely
Separated.
win again.
Yeah.
But they're definitely like dissipated in terms of they don't have Sassy and Sadhack for the old Loud. Who's on Sentinels now? It's
Sen always had.
Pancada.
Pancada. That's right.
Yeah,
Sassy
yeah.
and Pancada are now on Sen, so it's not, I guess, the same core anymore from the OG Loud that won champs. But I think that they're gonna have a really big run just because the Brazilians are crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking Leviathan. I like their chances, and I want to see an APAC team win. I want to see Paper Rex win. I want to see either is DRX in?
I know. I think.
Yeah, DRX and Paper Rex.
Yeah, I know Paper X is, but
But I saw a video.
Yeah,
that
DRX.
I saw a video that Paper Rex was like the weirdest Valorant team of all time.
no, they are. Paper X is so Paper X
They just
kind
troll,
of.
Yeah.
No, it's not like they
but
troll.
They win.
So when they were first created, the idea behind it, because they were a full Counter-Strike team that transitioned like just before the first VCT lock-in, and that's when like they made their show up in like 2021. They got absolutely fucking fried and like super depressing, but they still kept the core roster even after that. And it's just because their comps, they really do change the meta a lot. Like they're probably pioneers in a lot of the more aggro meta. Even when times when like people were swaying away from Tool Duelist and like an aggro Sentinel, whenever you had Chamber in there, they were still rocking it. They were still going through. And even with a lot of their comps, it's just wild what they do. And that's why whenever you mentioned Paper X and DRX was like their direct counter because they're more slow, disciplined players, and Paper X is like
robots.
okay,
Yeah.
you could say that, yeah, but. No, in
They
all
shoot
honesty,
pretty straight, in my
Paper
opinion.
X is just the meme team, and anybody who doesn't know who to root for is just like, yeah, Paper X. Like, they're just.
I
they're
love
just
their
cool.
jerseys. I love their jerseys.
Yeah, the
so
jerseys are
much.
sick as fuck.
They're
Yeah.
sick.
The red and white, like rainbow color looking stuff. But I think low key, I want DRX or Paper X to win, or an APAC team that isn't. I think doesn't. Oh no, Fnatic's still EMEA. Never mind. But yeah, I hope NA does well. I hope APAC wins, and I hope Brazil doesn't do that great. I love Brazil, though. Love you Brazilians. In terms of, I guess, just moving on to just normal gaming stuff, right? One of the biggest things for FPS players is their peripherals. And I always like to get everybody's opinions on what mouse they use. Specifically for Counter-Strike, I think Counter-Strike was one of the first FPS titles to really kind of push the narrative in terms of highly specified FPS-centric peripherals, whether it's keyboards or mouse.
Yeah.
I know everybody's on the Wu-Ting keyboard that's like super analog, and like super fast pulling rate, stuff like that. I think Final Mouse, which everybody knows Final Mouse for their insane mice, started on Counter-Strike with a Scream mouse. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And that's what kind of like propelled Counter-Strike in terms of like player recognition meets peripheral sales. So I wanted to get your thoughts. Did you care about what mouse you use? Do you have any like specific?
Yeah, so I did use different mouses, right, from when I started till now. Back then I did use, like the OG Razer mouses back then.
Death Adder, stuff like that.
Yeah, the Death Adder, yeah. But now I use the Logitech. I use the Logitech G502.
G502, the classic.
The classic's really
Everybody
nice.
likes that.
It's really nice because you can add weights and.
You like the weights?
Yeah.
This motherfucker. You ain't no FPS player, man. What do you play on, like,
Yeah,
He plays
16?
MOBA
He plays
game.
no. He plays 16K DPI, but
No, but yeah. I like that type of mouse, especially peripherals.
Do you care about your
Keyboard.
keyboard, mouse, anything like that?
Keyboard, actually, yeah. So keyboard, I've only used one keyboard, and I had to change it because it kept like the space bar kept breaking.
Nice.
It was
I
the
get stuff under there too sometimes.
it was a Razer Huntsman Tournament Edition.
I feel like all the Razer keyboards are all the same to me. I'm gonna hate to break it to you.
yeah, that's where I'm at. It's like you say Razer Huntsman. I'm like, dang.
Which
Talking
one is
about
that?
like the tactile. You could just say switches at that point. Switches would make more of a difference because most, I feel like with Razers, it's kind of the same with like Corsairs. You technically just have the different tiers of like, oh, this one has a volume knob, this one does not. Ooh,
Yeah.
$100 price difference.
And
But
I like the small keyboards too. Like
so 10 keyless to 60%.
Yeah,
60% are here.
60%.
Okay. 60% is too small. 10 keyless.
I think
Yeah,
it's
try
just.
doing-
I
try
think it's
doing
just the
homework.
right size. I think
Homework
there's
sucks.
no need to compensate there.
I'm not.
With a
As
small
somebody who
keyboard.
used to use a K95 with
Oh, you're a fucking weirdo
the
for that.
extended,
This
I
guy
will
had
say a
8 macros.
60% is the perfect size. Just kidding.
think-
Just kidding.
I think 60 is more than enough. More than enough. As the smallest, it's more than enough.
No.
What about you?
Well, actually, I gotta back up my homie Izzy here.
Your
I
502 Demon?
I think actually is talking about Razer.
Oh, okay.
I think that a lot of people our age started with Razer because of how like it's an entry level mice, right? Or an entry level mouse, entry level keyboard. And I would say that there's a lot of stuff that is actually pretty like fairly priced.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember starting off with my favorite mouse ever, dude. It was like a Death Adder. A wired Death Adder.
The Wired Death Adder, yeah.
And dude, that thing was heavy, bro. That was chunky.
These Counter-Strike players
It
are
was
weird, bro.
heavy,
Yeah, man,
bro.
you gotta
It was a
start-
big old fat mouse, dude, with like ergonomic fitting like on your hand.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing was heavy, and I loved that thing, dude. I used it for like 3 years. I burned it into the ground, dude. That homie was like, does not work anymore.
See,
Do you still use heavy mice?
I know. I hopped on like the lightweight mouse
trend?
hype, I guess. And now I use like a V2 Pro, Razer Viper V2 Pro.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
that's a respectable mouse. I can get that.
Yeah, dude. Because so I went from Death Adder to just like the Viper.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the Viper kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Like I used the Viper.
Razer
for,
is
like,
not a sponsor, but we will change our statements once you do.
absolutely.
No. We will never go Razer.
Redacted.
Okay, never mind.
Redacted,
President
redacted.
decree.
Presidential decree.
So I went to the Viper, right?
Mm.
And I just remember like, dude, the way that it clicked was like,
It was awful.
it just did not feel good.
Dude,
bro.
I have no idea what that mouse is, so
So,
I have no idea.
I know
what it
I know
looks
which
like.
ones you're talking about, and yeah.
The switches are just.
No, they were gummy. Is like the only thing I
Really?
remember.
Gummy
I
mice.
remember,
Yeah.
but see, you were talking about like
That's
both of you
weird.
start off with
That's
Razer
awful.
because like cost effective. I had a lot of friends who started off with Razer. My first peripherals when I still had a laptop and I bought a K65 Lux from Corsair. That's a keyboard,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that introduced me to linear switches. I hated any other type of switch past that now. And even now, I'll still use even with the keyboard that you had done for the G Pro. Yeah, that had blues. I hated blues, but no, and I stayed in the Corsair ecosystem the entire way through. But the stupid thing was, I used a Corsair skimitar. And if you guys don't know what a skimitar is, it's a big ass mouse with 12 side buttons. So it was a MOBA mouse, and I remember using that for the entirety of my come up in the collegiate scene. I started with the normal scimitar, moved to the scimitar Pro, and then I upgraded to an Iron Claw.
Oh, an Iron Claw.
Yeah,
what the fuck is wrong with
you? Dude, I know. And that was whenever I was playing.
Doesn't that one have more buttons?
Yeah, it does.
It has a
It's all
fuck
over
ton
the
of
place. I
buttons,
still
bro.
have that mouse. It is such a cool mouse. But no, I got the Iron Claw because I wanted a wireless mouse, and their polling rates were absolutely phenomenal because I got the Virtuosos. And the heaviest headset I've ever had, also the best wireless audio drivers I have ever used. I will always say that, but the dents in my head will attest to how heavy those things are. But no, the Iron Claw was funny. And then when I started playing more and more with the Siege team, and I was talking to them about the mice that they use, like, what the fuck is an Iron Claw? What are you using? You're using that like disfigured, like ergonomic mouse, and I was like,
Looks
yeah.
like a deviled egg
And
with a bite to
no,
it.
it definitely does.
Not even
And
lying.
then one of the people that we had, Saucy Surge, he was like, yeah, I just use a G Pro, and I was like, okay, fuck it.
Shout
So
out Saucy if you're watching.
I got a G Pro
Miss you, bro.
and immediately started doing better with a light mouse, and I was able to start dropping my cents. I used to play on like 1500 DPI, and then I dropped down slowly. I'm at like 1200 now, and literally halved my cents in game, and it was the best decision I've ever made.
Interesting.
Now I'm a G Pro fanboy. GG.
G Pro
Absolutely.
fanboy.
Dude, they're so nice. Like, that's like a mouse. I don't have anything like bad to say about.
Oh, I just got new feet for my Superlight. I've had my Superlight for like a year and a half at this point, and just now replacing the feet. It still slides great,
That's
but
sick.
I'm so happy getting some glass skates.
Oh. And then I use for keyboard Apex Mini Pro.
Apex Mini Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Steel Series stuff, right? That's Steel Series?
Yeah.
The Steel Series stuff has actually been really surprising me with a lot of the stuff that they're releasing, specifically in terms of mice. I think they're releasing a really good new entry-level light mouse.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of right. Razer does have like that big box store kind of retail name brand value to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like Apex, like that entire series of line series that Steel Series is coming out, is a little bit more cheaper, kind of cooler because they add some RGB.
Yeah.
And it pretty much does the same thing. I think there's better Switch
Absolutely.
choices on
Yeah.
on those. So I definitely like that stuff. Specifically the headsets, the Arctis,
Arctis.
Yeah.
Arctis, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I think that one has to be like the coolest design. It doesn't fit on my head. My head's too fucking big. I've tried it. It doesn't work. But the coolest design wirelessly, as well as just in terms of overall gamer look.
What do you think about HyperX? Because HyperX has like, I mean, we've used we have the HyperX old alloys here, but the new alloys that we saw whenever we went to NMAA, those are pretty.
Those are kind of nice.
I actually do think that as far as it goes, Corsair and Razer and Logitech, like they do have budget options, but they're not going to be the best. Like entry level, like if you don't want to go with RoCat because you actually want something that's going to last you, the Steel
You don't like the
Series
RoCat
and
membrane keyboards,
the,
bro?
the
No,
HyperX,
dude.
because I mean the HyperX even has some good high end stuff. Like I still use the Quadcast. I love that thing.
Dude, that Quadcast sounds like a can that just hangs from the top of your
Okay,
mic
little
arm.
bro. Okay. Little bro.
It's literally a mic.
What do you use? Huh? What do you use?
I'm an XLR god.
Yeah, exactly,
actually.
exactly. How's your
Oh.
$300 deck?
That's beautiful.
Exactly.
It's right over there, actually. Anyway, yeah, I'm a Corsair fanboy. I've been Corsair pretty much my entire life. The only thing that pissed me off for the longest time, Corsair just didn't give a fuck about the competitive scene. They just wanted to make gaming mice, and specifically MOBA stuff. So that's why the K95 was a thing. They literally the only 60%, it was a 65% actually, was your K65 Lux.
For
That
the
was
longest time.
The longest time, that was the only 10 keyless Corsair keyboard they ever made. And then they finally released the K65 Mini, and then the K70 TKO, and then the K70 60%, and now they're good.
They've branched out a lot,
They branched
especially
out a
as they've moved more so from, because I mean, yeah, you could definitely say they were more mobile focused with a lot of their mice, and then
That's a little bit more towards
expanded.
FPS.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, they released a mouse that looks very similar to the G502 recently. It has pretty much around the same amount of buttons. It's like 5 or 6 on the side, but it's lightweight, so I'm interested in trying that one. But I've been a Corsair fanboy ever since they tried to change. They changed into more FPS stuff. So they released a Saber mouse, which is like the mouse that I always use. I own like 3 of them. I think it's only like 69 grams, which is pretty comparable to like a G Pro or G Pro Lite. Probably not the super light, but kind of comparable. But I used a Final Mouse. I actually had one of the OG Final Mouse, the wired ones. I think the ones that came out right before Ninja got his mice.
Oh, okay.
And they were pretty cool. I really liked it. It was my first ambidextrous mice, so I got used to it. And then I did the G Pro the same time that we were playing Siege. And then I was like, my hand's too big for the G Pro. Or like, I didn't just like doing claw grip. I don't know, I'm a fucking noob.
You just do like a half.
I'm just a noob, so I don't care anymore. So once the Saber came out, it was a bigger mouse that was lightweight, so it worked perfectly. So I own 3. So very interesting. And then keyboard, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't have a preference towards keyboard, but I'm very interested. I want to try that Wooding. It seems really cool, but I feel like once I get that keyboard, I can never go back.
I'm gonna be honest with
gonna be
you.
impossible.
The price point for it is
It's
like
not worth it.
stupid. My roommate has one,
Worth it.
and
I asked him, and he said it's like super worth though.
it's like, I don't know. I know a couple like.
I feel like it's a little gimmicky.
Oh no, there's gimmicks to it definitely. But the first time I ever heard of Wooding, and this is like the dumbest thing I can actually say. Well, not dumbest. I was watching a Trackmania streamer, Virtual,
Nice.
and Virtual got a sponsored Wooding keyboard, and those of you who are not well versed in the Trackmania
I'm not.
leagues and especially like pro scene, that keyboard got Virtual in hot water because of its not full down pressing. You can actually limit your key press based off of an action key. He was hitting impossibly precise turns on
Wow.
ice slides on a map that he had put money up for people who could beat his world record, not
Wow.
realizing that he was doing that.
Wow.
Because he'd been using that for like the last year, and he'd been rooting or like showing off Wooding, being like, "Hey, they're super cool with like these action keys." Because if you don't know, they have action keys already set up in game to where you can limit your switch by like 15% for each one. So instead of like full 185, and then after that it goes down to 75? No. 60, 70. Anyway, so it keeps going down, and that's where their action keys were originally set, and Virtual was able to get like 43.3 on it, and that's where Nadeo, who make Trackmania, they had to make a statement like any players have used it in the past, it's non-punishable, but going forward, just to limit it, we're going to make sure that ice is fair enough to where you don't require action keys to get an advantage, and I mean, it caused a lot of funny things. Ice is now broken. It's
That's
okay.
crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. I would have never thought in a keyboard and mouse game, peripherals would be so impactful in a specific esports where money and stuff is all done. But very interesting to think about. But yeah, I feel like that'd be like the only like expensive keyboard I'd buy, but I would never be able to go back. Like I would anywhere I go, I have to bring that bitch. Like there's no way. Who has one? Doesn't Mar have one?
No, I don't think so. Oh, you know who does now have one? Smarmy. Smarmy just recently got one.
I hope he stops by today.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean they're cool, and especially with
180 though.
Yeah,
Kinda worth.
no, I don't think
I
it
think
is.
it's kinda
I
worth.
don't think it is.
With a
My
nice
my
case
roommate
for it?
really likes it. My roommate really likes it, and my roommate's just like, oh, if you get one, or you guys aren't allowed to get one now because I have one, and that would be weird. And the
Damn,
one of the
he's
main
gatekeeping.
one of the main reasons she got it
Gatekeeping
is
girl
because
boss.
of the movement in Apex, so that
Oh,
way
yeah,
she
that's
could do like quick binds, so that way she could actually delay her super glides and stuff. And like I completely get it, but I was like, damn, $180 for movement in a game that's dead? That's crazy.
Interesting.
If you got the 180, man.
If you got the
try it out,
180.
dude.
If you have
what
the
you gotta
180,
do.
you have options.
Moving on, we're kind of done with our gaming topics. Unless you guys have a gaming topic you want to talk about on the top
Nothing
of
off
your
the
head,
top of my head, no.
burning.
How
on
bad
top.
League of Legends is. Ooh.
How bad League of Legends is. Ryan May, Mr. Director over there. I want to talk about some more stuff that's kind of pop culture. At the date of recording, we're recording on the 22nd of July. San Diego Comic-Con going on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some new stuff has been released. Invincible Season 2. I'm not sure if you guys watched that
Yeah,
over
I
on
do.
Prime.
It's pretty
They
nice.
also had, I believe, Mortal Kombat 1, their character pack. They finally
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
are
the villain pack. Yeah, the
Amazon
villain pack.
already leaked it, but now
looks really
they're
nice,
they're
yeah.
confirming it. So Omni-Man's getting in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We're seeing
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker,
And then the dude from The Boys. I don't know his name.
Homelander,
Homelander.
yeah,
There we go.
Homelander, and then they have like 2 actual like OG Mortal Kombat characters.
Quan
Yeah.
Chi.
Quan Chi, and then the other dude.
I can't remember.
I
don't
don't
remember.
Wait,
He's like white skinned.
I think that's.
And he has like red.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
I haven't seen it. I'd be able.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
It looks sick though. I was stoked on the trailer.
Let's see. MK1 villain 2023 pack maybe. Dude. Oh, these 5, 6.
Okay, so
This character?
man.
I don't remember his name. I think this is 1G.
He's old. as fuck.
He looks familiar though. Like,
yeah, he's definitely been in post games previously.
For sure.
but-
I think I recognize him from Armageddon, but I don't remember.
Dude, Armageddon was so sick.
Yeah, that was one of the first games I ever played.
Yeah.
It's great.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat 1, do you guys play fighters at all? You guys been dabbling in? I know Street Fighter 6 came out. Mortal Kombat 1's coming out in October.
Yes.
You guys care about it? Some people don't.
To be honest, like since like I'm already into Street Fighter 6, like I don't think I'll buy Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, another
Yeah.
$60 down the drain.
Yeah, no,
What about you?
I am really, really bad at them. I'll probably pick up
Me
Mortal
too.
Kombat, but I love watching Cruiser play.
Cruiser, he plays a lot.
Yeah, he'll play like Smash type games,
Smash.
but Brawlhalla is his like number one.
You always
Bro.
see him on Steam, dude.
Bro,
That's gotta be the most cringe thing. You gotta be
Did-
like
did-
20 plus years old playing Brawlhalla. That's
Did
crazy.
he play Multiverses
That's
when it
crazy.
came
yeah,
out?
he did a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, put some respect on that man's name
Yes.
because you've never seen anybody play a fighter like that, homie, on Brawlhalla.
I want him to come here and to verse like Renzo or Russ in like Smash or in anything else, or
Okay,
even
smash that.
dude, we'll get Mr. Lee. We'll get Lee Gaming down
he
here.
plays.
He plays fighters. He plays every single fighter, I think, and
Sick.
it is insane. But
Guilty Gear.
I love
Hey.
fighters. Fighters.
I can't lie. I go home as of recently because the Steam Summer Sale was out, and
Plays Mortal
all
Kombat
the Mortal
11,
Kombat
dude.
stuff dropped. Ultimate Edition for
falling
Mortal Kombat
asleep.
11 was out. Dude, I've been playing that. So much fun.
It's fun, dude.
You played on the keyboard too. It's weird.
No, I do not play it on keyboard. I play it on controller.
I
Well.
hope so. I hope so.
We gotta see Rick and Morty season
The anime.
7,
The anime.
I was gonna talk about that.
as
Yeah.
well as the anime is
Yeah.
coming
The
out.
anime, yeah.
Very interesting for Rick and Morty season 7, since there is that writers' strike going on.
Yes.
They're gonna have a lot of sound alikes. So a lot of characters that that had voices or voices from the writers are obviously on strike. They're not getting paid. So they're just gonna have people do like impressions of these people. What do you guys think about that? I think it's gonna be kind of weird.
I
I,
think
don't
that's-
think it's
It's
ever
gonna be
happened before.
uncanny, dude.
I think
It's-
there's gonna be a boycott because a lot of people. I
Are
mean, even
impacted by that.
well, yeah,
Yeah, it's a
even
really
like
big
when
impact, yeah.
with because right now I was just saying Justin Roiland's characters just because things that happen. I can not go into that, but I definitely feel like, and especially talking with my roommate, who's one of the biggest Rick and Morty fans. Like she even has a tattoo of the robot that's one purpose is to pass butter.
Mhm.
Like absolutely,
God.
loves the show. She's like, I don't think I could ever watch it again. Like,
Wow, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot
Wow.
of things getting delayed too because of that.
Yeah, I
Like-
heard like almost every Marvel's like
A lot of Marvel movies, yeah.
I think the CEO of I think it was Disney or something like that. I don't
Kevin
remember.
Feige?
He came out and said like, yeah, we're gonna do less Marvel and less Star Wars. Well, I'm like, well, you don't have writers to do it, so I'd
Yeah.
imagine that's the route you're going.
Yeah, and they're even thinking because Spider-Man 4, right, got approved.
That's true.
But now they're saying that they're not going to do it because it's taking too long.
That's true. Yeah.
It's taking too long, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mortal Kombat 1's going to be a really cool game. I think I didn't really resonate with Mortal Kombat 11. I usually play Mortal Kombats when they drop pretty heavily. I played Mortal Kombat 11 when it came out pretty heavily, mainly because I like the cheesy storylines they put in the
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah.
They're so horrible, but it's like watching a bad movie
Yeah,
where you
you
just
love it.
play it because you're already like 5 hours in. You might as well
I think
invest the other 5.
yeah, I think like the new Mortal Kombat, like they want to try something new, right?
Yeah.
Especially like I don't know if you saw like they had like the 2 fighter mode
Mm.
where you could like have another
Player with you.
Yeah. They did with actually with Street Fighter 6. With Street Fighter 6 you could do that too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so I'm guessing their motive is just to make a brand new fighting game,
Mhm.
something,
A new experience.
a new experience out of the ordinary, yeah.
I'm excited for it though. I mean, they can. A lot of the Mortal Kombat history has been rewritten. Like all the clans are back,
Yeah.
everything, so they can go in all directions. And if that's how they want to do it, and they want to like blow it up, and I mean, bring it to a level where like Marvel vs. Capcom was, and just have
Mhm.
the entire roster. Because I mean,
Dude.
That'd be
Talking about-
Talking about
Capcom
Mortal
was
Kombat
really
Armageddon.
nice.
Yeah, bro.
Armageddon had so
60.
many characters. Like, holy shit, it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And growing up, you're like, dude, who are half of these
Yeah.
people? We don't even know. Well, this guy's got 4 arms. She's got 4 arms. What? There's robots.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot of
sick.
characters. Like, I feel like in Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat 10 kind of gave me the inclination that Mortal Kombat 11 was not going to be a flop, but it wasn't going to be like the same, where they just started adding just random people, bro. Like,
And they recycled most of the game too.
yeah, they recycled a lot of
Yeah.
it. Like, okay, Mortal Kombat 10, you saw Terminator or whatever you saw, and then Mortal Kombat 11, you saw him again. I'm like, dude, where are these OG characters?
Hey, they didn't bring Jason Voorhees back, though. I'm sad.
That would have been a cool ass. I mean, I'm glad they didn't, because then they can release it in Mortal Kombat 1. It's going to be so cool. That's why Mortal Kombat 10 was better. Anyway, Spider-Man 2 with Venom
Yes.
on the
dude.
PS5.
Pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered
Yes.
already?
Yes, dude.
This guy's a simp.
No. Honestly, I'm gonna let you know right now. I kind of was bummed out that they did release like a badass PS5 version of Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah, with the controller, and I'm like, damn, like I already bought my PS5. Like I don't want to buy another one. But turns out you could buy the side plates and the controller
Oh,
separately.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. Thank God, bro.
Yeah, it saved you, dude.
Thank God, yeah. But it looks like a really good game. They're adding a bigger map, a big ass story, and more villains too. It looks really nice.
Nice.
I'm very excited for Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man has to be like A tier, like superhero
course.
game. It might
For
even be
sure.
S tier after this game comes out. Like, I don't think any game makes you feel as powerful and as fluid in your like universe, and even within missions. Like, you would think, okay, Spider-Man open world, you're swinging, and then you get into a mission, and you're like,
You have
how are
so
you
much
going to
freedom,
transfer
yeah.
this type of skill set that you make the player learn
Yeah.
to where it's actually comparable to the gameplay and like actual action sequences? And they do a really good job with their level design. I think in
Yeah.
Insomniac games. Is that them?
Insomniac,
Yeah.
yeah.
Insomniac games. I think they're one of the best studios, like highest performing, like single player game studios.
And I'm gonna
out
be
there,
honest with you.
next to like From Software and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like the best thing that makes about it is like the freedom you could do, and like
Mhm.
you know, you don't have to be like doing specific things. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I really think, in my opinion, Spider-Man 2, like just looking at just the trailers and the
gonna be the
gameplay
best?
in general, a game of the year.
Game of the year.
I think it's the game of the year.
GOTY, you heard it here.
I'm a
Legend of Zelda. You heard that?
I think
Battle Bit
it will
wins,
be
Battle
it'll
Bit
be
wins.
nominated for it, but best. I wonder what it would fall under. If Milsim, like tax shooter, just fucking I
Game
don't
of
know.
the year. It's
Action.
I don't
gotta
know,
be
dude.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, I will say probably single player of the game. Tears of the Kingdom will most likely take it. Nintendo fanboys and all those peeps, you're not gonna be able to rival them. Like especially with how much hate Marvel's getting, and even if it's not directly related to Spider-Man's, it's gonna be nominated. I don't think it's gonna win. I'm hoping for multiplayer game that Battlefield gets it though. They deserve it. 3 devs,
Dude,
and
that's
all that they've done.
crazy.
Oh my god, it is wild. And even they had their most recent like survey. They released all the notes from it, and I think everybody's overall ratings were like 8 to 10s for the overall
crazy.
status of the game.
Especially for
Oh, yeah.
especially for just 3 developers too.
They've been working on it for like 7 years, so like they have to have some polish in it. But dude, it is. I will say this: the only thing I've ever had is just hit not registered due to a packet loss. That's about it. That's all I can say. And medic OP.
Yeah, dude.
happens. Some other big stuff that was announced. They finally released some stuff on The Walking Dead. I don't know how many of you guys still watch that. Absolute train wreck. I'm a big Walking Dead fan, so I'm excited for like the new
It's too
spin-off
much,
shows.
man.
I'll be watching them just because I have nothing better to do in my life. But
For sure.
some other shows, Gen V from The Boys, kind of like their spin-off show. I think it's gonna be really cool. The new stuff for Diablo 1. You guys been playing Diablo 4 Season 1. I know it's kind of like meh. At least I think so. Personally.
I've wanted to, but I've just been playing other games, man.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
I like the Diablo universe, but I just think the sweatiness gets kind of boring.
It
Um,
does.
Borderlands, hit game Borderlands, they're making a movie now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a
They're making a
really
movie.
interesting. I'm really excited to see a trailer
yeah.
because there's so many things. When you think of Borderlands, you'll think like a million side missions, right?
Mhm.
But how are they going to like focus on
A
that
story.
aspect of Borderlands without?
I feel like that's gonna be pretty similar to the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Maybe.
They're probably gonna do something like out of the ordinary and different
Yeah.
than the game. So like
We'll see. We'll see.
God.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of I think it's a wannabe Into the Spider-Verse type
Yeah.
of movie.
Here's
But
a half
I,
shell. Turtle power.
I guess they're cool. The Harley Quinn anime, I think it's a Harley Quinn anime or
Oh,
like
yeah.
Joker Harley
Yeah,
Quinn anime is
yeah.
coming out.
Yeah.
That seems pretty fun. The new X-Men, I think it's a show or a comic series. I don't know.
The new Deadpool movie looks
The new
nice, yeah.
Deadpool movie. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna release a trailer for it finally
Oh,
with
yeah.
Wolverine,
Huge.
and
Yeah.
then
Jackman.
some Marvel stuff, just usual stuff that you see in San Diego Comic. It's still going on, so there's still a lot of stuff that we're kind of waiting for. The John Wick spin-off series.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
it's
excited
very
for that.
interesting.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. And then there's a lot of stuff that honestly is like actually comic book related that I would have no idea. But that's pretty much all I have for the podcast. You guys have any other topics you guys were wanting to share at all before we go and wrap it up?
Nothing off the top of my head.
You guys have anything to say before we go ahead and close this episode out? Episode 10, this is the last episode of this quote-unquote season before we have this, I guess, format. And then next season we'll have a new format with some new cool graphics and stuff like that. But anything you want to say to the supporters online?
Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys could watch us again next
Counter-Strike
season.
streams will happen, I
Yes.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
And you won't be
CS2
getting
is coming
destroyed
out.
by the Valorant
Watch
stream.
out.
Ooh, CS2.
We got this.
CS2 is going to be fun.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for having us here.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Hopefully, we look forward to being back soon. And keep an eye out for us on CS2. We're looking forward to it.
Make sure to watch those streams if they let me do a spectator this time.
Yep.
Leon, Mr. President, any final words?
Yeah, I'm glad I got the 3-peat in for this season. Can't wait to do it again next season.
I like that. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to follow all of these wonderful gentlemen on their social medias. Will be linked down below. Make sure to check out our Instagram, Twitter, Threads, new social media platform. And we'll catch you guys next season. Goodbye.